Okay. Hello. We should have maybe scripted this, shouldn't we?
Well, that would be a first. We don't script anything.
No, this is true.
Haven't done anything. It's all spontaneous.
All right, so I'm going to put you on the spot, Andrea. Would you
Okay,
like to?
good. This is exciting.
Who are we? Why are we doing this?
Oh, now that's a good
What
question.
are we doing? What's this Q&A all about?
Okay, so this is us sharing with the people that are listening why coming on one of our retreats is just so wonderful and mind blowing because it did that for us, you know. So we're just sharing the experience. Um, so you're Kath and I'm Andrea. And right now, the image behind you is the one at the hotel, which is the mountain view roof terrace where we do connections and meditations and some focus work there. And then behind me is the Church of the Mother Mary at Ephesus. Again, another place where we do connections and we have our minds blown away by the universe.
So this session here now, this meeting, this oh, we've got a question there. So we're here to explain, to answer any questions and just chat a little about the retreats that we're offering, particularly the Christmas one that's coming up very soon. So the first question we have about it is it all inclusive? Are the activities included? And it is, I think when people ask, is it all inclusive? It can mean different things to different people. So it's all inclusive in that all the meals are included, all the activities are included. So for the 3-day, the 4-night, 3-day retreat at Christmas, that is that's 4 nights in the 5-star hotel that you can partially see behind me. It's a beautiful hotel, very modern, but with beautiful spa facilities, thermal waters, and that beautiful view out the back. And then at the front from the restaurant upstairs, there's this amazing panoramic view out to the sea. So we have all our meals provided. And the trips, there are 2 trips on the 3-day retreat, one to the ancient ruin of Priene, which is a quiet place. It's kind of off the beaten tourist track, really, and that's kind of what we like about it. And then and we can talk more about that in a little while. And then there's the trip to Ephesus, which is you can see behind Andrea. So that's all included.
Part of it, a small part of it, yeah.
Small part of it.
So,
Flights are not included and transfers are not included, but everything else is except alcohol. And we are encouraging people to not drink alcohol during the retreat. But all the food is included, all the activities. And we just had another question about the spa. Is the spa extra? So we get use of there are two pools outside. No, 3 pools. 3 pools. There's the thermal pool. Am I saying this right, Andrea? Am I
yeah,
counting?
there's the hot thermal pool outside, and then right next to it is the cold dip pool. And then there's the swimming pool as well next to the restaurant.
Yeah. And then inside, so that there are those, and so it's beautiful outside. You take a dip in the hot pool, and then go and get in the cold pool, and then go in the hot pool, and then go in the cold pool. All of that is, you can do that anytime you like. You can do it, and it's included in the schedule, but you can also do it outside of the schedule when you've got your non-scheduled activities. When you, yeah, am I making sense? But then inside, there's a whole lot more, and there is and how many? Two, three?
Animal spas inside,
Yeah,
indoors, with the
and
saunas and the steam rooms.
steam room, sauna, all of that is available
And
all
in
the time. And then there are, if you want a massage or anything like that, that is extra. So what is included is access to the pools, the sauna and the steam room. But there are extras that you can pay extra for if you want to. There's also a gym, and we'll be using the yoga studio as well. But so there may be other activities going on at the hotel that you, but I mean, I think we've got quite a good schedule going on. I don't think,
busy itinerary.
yeah,
Also an indoor swimming pool as well, if anybody likes to swim indoors, and that's open. Free to use.
Have I missed anything, Andrea?
I don't believe so. No.
Yeah. Another question is, what if I don't know anyone? Can I come on my own?
Oh yes, thoroughly.
Absolutely.
Because this is about getting to know people who are interested in the mind-opening experiences and the sharing of the heart connections, and absolutely fully encourage people to come on their own.
Yeah, you won't be on your own. You'll be with us.
Yes.
There's no such thing as being on your own, not when you're with us.
Yeah.
So are children allowed? That's the next question.
Yeah, we did talk about this, didn't we? Because the actual itinerary for the retreat was all channeled effectively through spirit. We sat and we meditated and we channeled the itinerary, and a lot of focus and a lot of preparation work is involved before going to the ruins. And we felt that, at least to start with, the retreats will be aged 18 plus, and that we would encourage maybe some family retreats later where younger participants could be involved. But it would actually be still set with people who can focus and meditate. And it's all about having fun too. It's not all serious at all. It's about having fun, but it is about training to focus. So if there was a younger child that could absolutely sit and focus, and we know that they're out there, we know that they do it, we're open to that in the future. But just for the time being, the Christmas one and the March retreat that we've got at the moment are 18 plus for at the moment.
And I think from my perspective, it's also about, adults being able to be adults and not having to be careful of what your conversation's about because there are children about. So it's just, as an adult, having that freedom to talk about whatever you want to talk about, and relax properly. Because I think, when there are young people about, then there are topics you might not want to talk about. So we want people to feel free to talk about whatever they want to talk about and relax about it.
I think that leads nicely onto a question that I've received. It says, who would benefit from this retreat? And we have discussed this as well, haven't we? And it is basically it's inclusive to anyone who actually feels they would like to join. If there's a wish to join the retreat, then that wish is coming from the heart, and then they're welcome, absolutely. So who would actually benefit from this retreat? I would personally say anyone who feels that they would like to join a retreat of this nature, focusing on having fun, but also focusing on understanding a little bit more about themselves in the self-discovery process. And anyone who feels that they're ready to maybe have a new perspective in life, a lifted perspective through something that comes from within them. This isn't something that appears to them from the outside. It comes from within. And so we do get different and higher perspectives on life, which is just wonderful. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think, you know, you can be there's no, I would say there's no particular stage you need to be at in your awareness as long as you've got an open mind. And I think, you know, it might be that you are very aware of your true nature. But life can be busy and it's easy to lose focus. And, you know, this retreat at Christmas is an opportunity to just step out of the business of life and refocus, reconnect, remember who we really are. Because, yeah, I mean, I've been super busy lately and it's easy to get distracted from that truth of who you are. And I think we all need a bit of time just being quiet and having that inner focus and peace and being present. And for me, this retreat, these 3 days are all about just being present in the moment. And it's easy to do that, you know, when you're in the spa, or you're wandering around Ephesus or meditating at Priene. It's easy to just be and stay present. So, you know, that is something that would benefit so many people. Doesn't matter where they are in their awareness. And, you know, so it might be that you come and that refocus is all you need and that's all you get because you're already very, very aware. Or it may be that you know, it's an opportunity for some to become more aware and to get more insight than they've had up till now. And I think there's always more to learn. I mean, we've been doing this journey for a very long time. You know, together jointly, we've been doing it 18 years, and then we've both got history before that of you know, a long history of learning, and we're still learning. There's always more, I think.
We never stop, like having our minds blown and going, oh my God, that's amazing.
So yeah, I mean, it can be that, you know, come along and learn more, get more insight, or come along and just have fun, you know, if you're interested in past lives, because we've had some phenomenal experiences of connection with past experience at Priene and Ephesus. And you know, if that's what floats your boat, then come along because it's just such a great place to have that experience. So I hope I haven't gone off piste. I hope I was still answering the question. We've got another question. What activities are involved? So that's the itinerary really, isn't it? Which I haven't got in front of me.
Well, there's a lot of mindful movement, connection with the body and understanding the mind-body connections. There's a lot of focus with understanding the universal connections of the mind and the shared experiences within that, within a group of people, and how we connect with the past, the present and the future, and how all of the past and all of the future is actually all within the now. And in the now, you can connect. And it's brilliant in its nature. So there is mindfulness, not necessarily yoga style movements, although that can come into it. So there is movements that are slow and deliberate that we're asking people to connect with their bodies, but as with all of the activities on the retreats, it is what people are able to do, willing to participate with. And we will be encouraging people a little to come out of their comfort zones. But everything that is participated with is all within their control, all within what they would like to experience and what not. And so we do a lot of spa meditations with the hot thermal waters into the cold waters, because what that does to the body is it allows the freedom of the mind. It's a very unique experience to meditate within hot and cold waters. And there's a lot of health benefits to it as well. And then when we're actually at the ancient ruins, there are activities designed specifically for connection with the universe, connection with nature, and connection with the ancient past and the philosophers and the creative experiences of the past. And from the focus and understanding our connections with the universal mind, that really comes to the surface with the activities that we have.
Yeah. So an important aspect of it, one of the first activities we do is intention setting, because one thing we're very aware of is how we affect the future with our focus of attention. So, we'll be starting with that intention, really thinking about what kind of experience we want as individuals and as a group. And with the understanding that with that focus on what we want, not what we don't want, but what we do want, we're going to create that.
Right focus. Yeah.
Do we have to be physically fit and able? That's a really good question. Thank you, Portia, for asking that one. That's a great question. We are aware that we don't want to exclude anybody. However, there are, to be realistic, the path up to Prien. I once did it after having an operation. It was quite soon after a big operation, and I think it was 6 weeks. I went as soon as I could. I was allowed to fly, which was exactly 6 weeks after my operation. I went and we had a great experience. But walking up those steps with that, I'd had abdominal surgery, and it was quite big surgery, and I took my time, and I did it, and I had an amazing time. But I had to take my time. There are steps. I can't remember I couldn't say how far those steps are, but they go up. They're not superbly steep, but there's a good, ordinarily it's a 5-minute walk up steps that are very, very old, hundreds, thousands of years old. And, you have to be careful of your step. And so, yeah, if you have limited mobility, then you may want to consider whether it is right for you. There's as you're moving around Prien, it's you need to watch your step, because it is ruins. So reasonable eyesight, I would say, or if you if you have sight issues, then we haven't really spoken specifically about sight issues, but you would need help. And Ephesus as well, it's a big site. It's if you've never been to Ephesus, I mean, the first time I went, I was blown away by the scale of it. It's huge, and it's tiring walking around it when you've got reasonable mobility. It is, most of it, I would say, is wheelchair accessible. We've seen people in wheelchairs there, but there may be parts of it that can't be accessed easily, but in a wheelchair.
I would say that we can accommodate as well to some extent. We can be flexible with the itinerary and who's involved in what. But I would say perhaps if anyone has any mental or physical health concerns, just to connect with us in advance before booking, and we can have a good chat on a case-by-case basis, because I would actually say this is quite case-by-case. And it's also dependent on how much people are able to do any particular activity, will reflect on how much they get out of the retreat as well. So we need to be able to make sure that the balance is right for that person, and that it would work for them. So yeah, case by case, just give us a chat, call us in advance.
because when we're talking about the 7-day retreat, 8-night retreat, it's there's Pamukkale as well, which is high. It's high up on a hillside. Is it a mountain or a hill? It's very big, and it's slippy as well. There are thermal waters that trickle down the mountainside and create these amazing pools. It's quite surreal. It's beautiful, but you have to watch your step. Again, there's a risk of slipping. So yeah, talk to us if you're unsure. And again, with mental health as well, there's just there's a lot of meditation. So you need to be able to cope with that. There's a lot of information on our website, and we've got quite a good description. I mean, we've done risk assessments, and we've gone around specifically with the intention of just checking out the risks, and that information is on the website as well. So by all means, get in touch with us. We're happy to talk to you and figure out whether it is right for you. But there is also information on the website too. So we have another question. What's the weather usually like in December? So Andrea, you answer this because you spent far, far longer in Turkey, years more than I have. So
it's certainly better than the UK, put it that way. I mean, nobody can ever guarantee the weather, but there's been many a year in December when it's been sunbathing weather during the day. Cold on the morning, cold on an evening, cold throughout the night, but the sun's very bright during the day, so it's shorts and t-shirts weather during the day. For us in the UK anyway, certainly a lot warmer. The rain doesn't usually start to any great extent up until end of December, January, February, but most of the time, the whole of December is cold and sunny and relatively dry.
Cold being
cold on the morning, hot during the day. Yeah, but like I said, it's variable. It's the weather.
Have we got any other questions? There's a couple of kind of questions that merge here. You've mentioned channeling, and I think that may need an explanation for some, and what makes your retreats unique. The answers to those are, I think we can answer that together, can't we?
Yeah. So there's a lot of information out there on the internet about what channeling is, but effectively it's the connection of your higher mind with your conscious awareness. So you consciously focus upon the higher mind within, and you bring forward from within your heart a voice that is there to open your heart further and open your mind further. And we all have it. Every one of us on this planet has the ability to connect through the heart and open the mind further through this channel of communication that's there for us. I don't know if Kath, you want to add anything to that, or
yeah, we have different when we're not doing retreats, our lives are slightly different, and when I'm not doing retreats, then my focus is hypnotherapy and mindfulness. So for many years, I've been getting people in the sessions to listen to their higher mind. Initially, in the early days, so I've been a hypnotherapist for 26 years, and in the early days, I was following my training and believed it was what they were listening to was the unconscious mind. But over those first few years, I realized that what was the unconscious seemed incredibly wise and beyond the experience of that human being sat in front of me. And as time went by, as the years went by, it became perfectly clear that it was the soul self or higher self. We have many ways of describing what the experience is, but we've all got this inner voice that's beautiful, loves unconditionally, has amazing wisdom, and we all have that, and everybody has access to that, you know. And I get people within the first session listening to that part of themselves, and that's, but Andrea does that, but and we both do it, but I have to say Andrea is a phenomenon when it comes to channeling. She's honed it as a skill, and has channeled books, and has over the years worked very hard on accuracy, because sometimes when you're listening, when you're trying to listen and you're asking questions of that real you, that inner you, it can get filtered through belief systems and limiting thoughts, limiting beliefs. And we've both worked for many years on releasing those and making sure that we are listening to that pure source of answer. But Andrea is just fantastic asset.
We've actually learned a lot from working together and understanding more and more about consciousness and what it is. And when you actually connect in a group as well, when you're listening to the heart and focusing on that higher mind, the connectivity and the oneness is just, it blows you away. It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
So I think just going back to what you were saying about what makes our retreat unique, we are fully encouraging people to connect with that inner awareness that they have of their higher self. But also the whole retreat was channeled from that place. Myself and Kath sat within focus and basically effectively like downloaded the itinerary for the retreat from the higher awareness. And it all came about because of previous experiences where myself, Kath, and others have joined us, and we've had the most amazing, miraculous experiences in these places. And I'd have to say it is miraculous. We've literally had miracle experiences many times over. And that's actually something that somebody submitted as a question, you know, like what is a miracle, and can a miracle be demonstrated? And I think part of experiencing miracles at these retreats is by opening your mind to seeing miracles, you know, seeing the possibility that they're there and they're within you and they're there to be expressed. But also, you know, to have experiences where the external world to you demonstrates miracles. It's just profound. You know, the higher awareness. For example, I don't know, should we give the one from Mother Mary's church when we first started channeling all those years ago? And we went in there as a group, and I was shy at that point of channeling in public. Not so much now anymore, because I've done it for years since then, but I was then shy, and there was a group of us, and we were all a bit new to this. And we were sat in the church of Mother Mary, and it became apparent that there was some channeling to be done. And I mentioned it. I said, "Oh, there's some channel there," because you can feel it. You can feel it through the heart and the crown chakra that there's a channel to be expressed. But I said to Kath, I said, "Oh God, I don't really want to do this right now," because it was crowded. There was a crowded place, and basically, channel just said, "Hang on a moment, just sit and just be present." So we sat down. We hung on a moment. And a whole swarm of bees came into
hornets. They were massive.
Hornets came into the church of the Mother Mary, and the whole of the crowd disappeared.
They were like flying border collies, and they just herded everybody out of the church.
Everybody left the church, and then we were just sat there, and there was 3 or 4 of us, and we just sat there and looked at each other and went, "Oh my God." I mean, nobody got hurt. It wasn't about that. It was just the miracle of clearing the way for us to be comfortable to do the channeling experience. And that was just one of many miracles that has happened, that has just made our world transform in front of our eyes. Yeah.
I think one thing more that I would like to say about what, I don't know whether it makes the retreats unique, but one thing that I love about these retreats and us, and when we work with people, is we do have a lot of fun. You know, we like to have fun, and yes, there are sort of you know, we can talk about, you know, the big questions of the universe that philosophers have been struggling with for centuries, and Channel will answer those questions. And we all, it's not just about listening to Andrea, you know, we all have these answers within us, and it's about encouraging people to listen inwardly. And but it's about having fun, and you know, we like to be silly a bit as well.
And also, our inner and higher awareness has such a wonderful sense of humor
Oh yeah, yeah.
that it is fun. It is not all serious connection here. This is like the vibration and the higher levels has so much fun. There was a time, another miracle that we had. There was a time when we were asked to go outside and look at the stars, and we went outside and it was cloudy. We couldn't really see the stars, and no, we can't see anything. And then spirit,
The lights, the lights from the street
yeah,
lights.
but all of the street lights. And then spirit through us said, "Okay, give it a second. Right, now go outside and look at the lights." And literally in that second, all of the electricity in the whole of the area for what must have been like 50 miles circumference had all just gone black. And the whole of the stars and the sky was just amazing. Like I've never seen it before. It was just wow. But it was just that second, right? Hang on a second. Right, now go. Electricity all off everywhere. Yeah, brilliant. So yeah, this is kind of like, what makes our retreat unique. And I would have to say that what makes our retreat unique is you, the participant.
Oh yeah.
Because when you actually connect through the heart and the mind, what comes through you in that universal connection is enough to just make everyone just go, "Oh my God, you're magnificent. You are awesome." Because we
It is the dynamics of the group, and it's the way that you know, we, it's like everybody, no matter what level you're at, you know, you've got an equal part to play. And it is that everybody's different, everybody brings something unique, and you know, we value everybody equally. And so I was going to say something else and it's gone out of my head.
Spontaneity.
Yeah.
Spontaneity is another large part
Oh,
of
yeah.
this because the miracles flow with the spontaneous.
Yeah.
And like when something goes out of the mind, like it just did with Kath, and there's something there to be understood, that it's a focus on the rightness. There's never anything wrong, you know. We have very intrinsically connected minds, and thoughts flow, they come, they join us, to be aware of, to be shared, they disappear. We have blank moments, and even in those blank moments, miracles happen.
Yeah. Mm. So shall we wrap up?
Yeah.
Any more questions before we finish?
There is, let me see here, because there was some submitted before the meeting actually started. Right, there's one that isn't really, we haven't talked about, and it's probably a good one that's worth just finishing up on. And thank you to all those that have joined us. It says, will the retreat, if I come on a retreat, will it contravene my beliefs in a religious practice? And I would say that, this is an all-inclusive retreat for the people, agnostics, atheists, and people from all religions. And what we find is that the higher awareness within us all doesn't ever contradict, or it doesn't ever provide us with anything that makes our beliefs look wrong. It's just that what we actually can tend to find is that our beliefs expand, that they actually go from a limited belief to an expanded belief. And again, it just becomes even more magnificent. So yeah, it doesn't contravene beliefs.
What we've been given through that inner connection, inner listening, channeling, whatever you want to call it, what we've been given time and time again in a million ways is there's there's no right or wrong way to live your life. You know, it's very personal, and we're not here to tell anybody how to live their life. There are no shoulds. You know, it's all about encouraging everybody to live the life that's right for them. So yeah, we don't have any religious dogma or spiritual dogma, or you know, everyone's, whoever comes on the retreat, whatever your beliefs are, those beliefs will be respected.
Yeah.
So
I think one of the things that we do encourage people do believe, though, is just how magnificent and awesome they actually are. Self-belief, have that. We do encourage that thoroughly.
absolutely, yeah. Okay, so well, thank you. Thanks for your questions. And
Yeah.
if you think of anything, any more questions that you might have, anything else you want to know, then just get in touch, and we will answer those questions. And
Yeah, we'll probably do another video of question and answers at some point soon in the future.
yeah.
All right. Thanks, everybody.
Bye.